G-Rock 106.3, 106.5, Jersey's Rock Alternative, Carbon Silicon. And the news, joining me in the studio, if you're just tuning in, is Mick Jones, the one and only legend, and other legend, Tony James.
Behind the paper.
Who's behind the paper. So I remember reading a review when the band, I guess, first came out. Was it like around 2002 or something?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there?
It was, yeah.
And you guys were described as the Stones jamming with a laptop.
Well, to start with, we used
I
lots
wanted Stravinsky. Jackie.
Well, do you think that's accurate, or were you like,
No, because I wanted Stravinsky.
No, because I didn't think Stravinsky was that big in Jersey. So I thought, you know what I mean?
It'd be better
better
to
to put
do
the Stones
call
in
the
once.
Stones.
Yeah, so... But it was kind of the early stuff, we had a computer rather than
Yes.
a real rhythm section. Now when we play live, we have Leo from BAD and Dominic from Reef. Great players in the band.
ah,
They're our rhythm section.
They're our rhythm
that's
section.
why they looked familiar.
That's right.
Leo used to play with the old BAD.
Right,
yeah.
that's why, and he
Yeah.
still looks the same.
That's
Except
right.
his locks are a bit longer.
A little bit longer locks.
Yeah.
So technologically, again, you guys have been so innovative. Why did besides the obvious, you decided to put the CD out. I mean, why did you guys embrace technology so early on? Why did you not care? Was it just fun for you about making all this money and stuff?
Tony's... You what?
No, I mean,
No, Tony's been into computers since they
but I mean, just
Well,
making
punch
music
cards.
available. You guys were,
you know?
you
get a
guys
card,
were ahead
you
of the
punch
curve
it
on
like
that.
$1 billion brain.
Yeah.
This guy.
Was it just that you
No,
guys
all
said we
it's
wanted
all
to do
it's
a great
done
project?
is, you know what, it's so great because what it allows you as a musician to do is to make the records yourself. You know, so you don't have to have anybody else around. So Mick and I can sit in the studio, just the two of us and the Mac.
It's just about
And make a
different
record
ways
ourselves.
of presentation, really.
Yeah,
or
but ease of making the record. You
And
know,
just
so it
probably
wasn't
feeling
the,
free.
Yeah, the computer wasn't the thing. Ultimately,
At all.
it's the song and the music. You know, the best thing for us ever was when we make those records in the studio and we burn it onto a CD on the way home and sit outside Mick's apartment and play the music we just recorded. You know, and we didn't want to get out of the car because we were enjoying what we'd made. You know, and so it liberates you from all the process.
Mm-hmm.
You can make the music for yourself, you know, and that's the most important thing, that you dig what you do.
So Mick Jones and Tony James come together in 2002, and how does that happen and why? I mean, were you guys friends before?
we had been friends all along.
For 30 years.
Since
Wow.
before the Clash and punk, really.
Yeah,
We've
so we've
had
known each other
friends.
all this time.
Boyhood chums.
Well, we never, you
Not
know,
quite boyhood, but
Not
afterwards,
boyhood.
teenage,
late teenage.
Were you guys like hooligans running down the streets of London going crazy?
Oh,
Really?
Just
No.
music crazy.
Okay.
In music crazy, and we did stitch ourselves into ocelot trousers. But apart from that,
That wasn't the craziest thing you did. Well, what was the young Mick Jones listening to? What was the young
Well,
Tony James
what-
listening to?
New York
crazy
Dolls.
for the New York Dolls and
MC5,
Wow.
Rolling
Stooges.
Stones.
Isn't that
Stones,
interesting?
Faces,
Those are the bands that we
Kinks.
really dug. And still dig those groups.
Yeah.
You know, and still they make really exciting, revolutionary music.
Well, but it's the music that we liked is still really exciting and revolutionary. We're not
Yeah.
saying that, it's hard to come out with something when you're sort of that much lumbered with, legend.
Well, see-
Legend is so heavy upon you that
Well,
it's hard to do anything new.
Well,
Or
that's
anybody would want to hear it even.
that's a tough. I mean, that's a really, really hard thing. I mean, so for you,
as we said, we're making music that we dig for ourselves, you know.
And our age group.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, look, you know what, we didn't set out to form a band. I'd written some lyrics for a song called MP3 about the giving it away ethos back in 2002, and Mick went, well, I could write a tune for that. And we just enjoyed that process, and then we wrote another one, Why Do Men Fight, which you're going to play a little later. That was the second song we ever wrote together. And it just kind of grew from there, and then we thought, well, maybe we can go and play live. But there was no, big thing, let's form a band. It was just two friends kind of just
We
hanging out.
didn't even think it was possible, really, to do anything more than just go,
Yeah.
well, Mick, I mean, for you, even during the Clash days, you were always offering people.
offering them out for a fight.
No, besides
I
that, I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. Different kind of ways of getting music. I mean, you guys have put out the triple album and
Yeah.
still charge a really low price, and all that sort of
Yeah,
thing. I
that
mean, it was
was-
ahead of the curve then for you.
That's right.
That's true.
That's why we
actually.
don't make any money still. It's your fault. You started that.
I know, it's my fault, but I try not to, I try to lay the blame off on other people.
Well, artists about the fans, and there aren't that many of them. What do you guys think of the music business? What do you think of the things that have happened since the two of you sort of got going and got started in the
I think somehow it's going to manage to survive through this latest crisis, and I don't see why it can't all peacefully coexist. You know?
Yeah. There's some smart, passionate guys in the music business. They dig music, you know, and they'll figure out a way of doing something.
And new music that's coming out these days?
I think it's the most exciting time there's ever been in music. I think because people have got access to make a little record in their bedroom and put it on their MySpace site, and if it's great, 1 million people could hear it. I know, and so it's the best time ever.
Nice. I feel inspired now. Because sometimes sometimes you get sort of jaded a little bit. You watch American Idol and you get a little jaded.
Well, that's a different part of the music business.
Obviously, the jaded side.
Yeah.
The more jaded side. Carbon Silicon in the studio with me, Mick Jones and Tony James. Tonight at Asbury Lanes in Asbury Park. Tickets are still available, $15. So if people come to see you guys tonight, give me a little bit of what can they expect?
We give a lot of chat.
We're going to see a lot of bowling skills that you've never seen before, for sure.
Yeah, we chat, have a drink, and then...
Do you do that? Do you get among the masses?
What's really interesting is I go up with the bowling ball up the lane. I'm still holding it.
You're not going to do that.
What we might do is we write the songs on the pins, and then whatever one we knock down, we'll play that song.
Yeah. Make it kind of fresh.
Fun games with Carbon.
We like to keep the project alive, you know.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the last post, the first
It's
official CD.
Some of the, I believe, it's the ones that we're playing live. It's a kind of a selection of the tracks that we've made over the last 5 or 6 years.
You know when you've got to pay that bill and you've missed the last post, and then
This is in Mick's
you feel like you neglected the world. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
You missed the last post.
Oh my goodness. So why do men fight? We've got this cool sort of...
Mashup.
They call it like a mashup.
Because they drink so much.
That's why they fight. That's the solution if you're wondering at home why do men fight.
I told you, I forgot how
Copious
funny
amounts of
Mick
alcohol.
is.
Yeah.
We have a terrible drink binging problem in London.
Really?
Oh, in
I
England,
never heard that,
in England,
really?
in fact, it's like we're the worst country for drinking.
Really?
Everybody drinks.
Those
It's
fights.
mandatory. Mandatory drinking, fighting, throwing up in the street.
Yeah.
Disorder, and ASBOs, which is like an antisocial banning order.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They give to young people. It's like a sign of a badge of honour.
So I'm booking my flight
It's
out
kind of
actually
like
right
a-
now.
You know,
We're
you
gonna
get
have
a
to-
restraining order on somebody, like your kids. You need to get a restraining order
Yeah.
on them.
Yeah, exactly. Why we have to do a new version called Why Do Really Young Kids Fight?
So tell me about this mashup
It's
version.
a
that we're
mashup
gonna play.
version. Nothing to do with us, but it does have a few samples in it. It's kind of, you know what, I've always loved mashup versions of things,
Fun.
where you put old stuff with new stuff and it kind of sits together and it kind of gives you a new perspective on the track.
It's
So-
coming from our forthcoming Bangers and Mash album.
Well, true.
That's true.
Is that true?
We have a
Yeah.
whole bunch of mashups. That
Oh,
we're
that's a
gonna-
great-
Every album,
That's
Bangers
a
and
great
Mash.
thing.
It's going to be all like a big pile of mashed potato with all records sticking
That's
out.
very cool. You got to
On the
do that.
cover.
Now that you said you have to do it, you're
Well,
doing it.
I have
we
the
are
artwork
doing it.
already.
We're doing
Okay,
it.
excellent, excellent.
So this is Why Do Men Fight from that.
Why do men fight? Carbon Silicon tonight? You know what we'll do right now? 866-76G-ROCK, and we're going to take some callers, and we'll sort of let the guys, I guess, go to. Are you guys going to like the sound check and stuff? Are you going to cruise
Yeah,
this straight
We're
to
going,
Asbury?
we're going to see Led Zeppelin now.
They heard about Led Zeppelin playing the area.
Yeah, we're
Led
gonna get
Zeppelin.
everywhere.
Led Zeppelin.
Right,
Led
correct.
Zeppelin.
And we've been intrigued ever since because someone mentioned the name
Fascinating.
Led
So
Zeppelin.
people get to call in and get some tickets. Is that what they can do?
866-76G-ROCK will get you in for tonight's show, and we'll take a
Don't have
bunch
to
of
answer
callers.
a question or anything like
No,
that.
we're gonna
Just phone in.
we're just gonna get some fans
Okay.
on the phones, and we'll go out today with Why Do Men Fight, the mash-up version that you guys have absolutely no responsibility for. It was just one of those
It
things that
just
sort
came
of happened.
out of the ether.
There you go. Mick
Wow.
Jones, Tony James, thank you guys so much. It was
Let's
great
get
hanging
started.
out.
Our
with you.
pleasure. Thank you.